This game certainly functions. In fact, I'd go as far as to say it boots up. However, at times, it has this little issue where it just sort of doesn't work properly. And, by at times, I mean always. This game fucking sucks. Specifically the third act. Hello 8-Bit is a game that I've been following since its first semi-public release. I was watching 8-Bit's Ryan's Let's Play of the pre-alpha as soon as he dropped it. I'm kinda an OG. You probably all know the alpha situation, right? I'll go in depth another time, but essentially, many fans of the series believe the alphas to be of a higher quality than the actual game. And I'm inclined to agree, especially when it comes to the house designs in this game are key factors in portraying the insanity of the titular character. In the pre-alpha and the first alpha, this is done perfectly, with the houses being massive but still built in a way that could technically maybe work in Earth's gravity. They tower over the protagonist and manage to feature confusing and shocking mysteries that work to provoke genuine confusion and interest from the player. There's a sense of actual fear in these builds, and there's subtle clues everywhere that work to allude to a potential story without it absolutely having to be the key focus. The second alpha is the peak of level design though. It's a realistically small house, but it's now down to the smaller details to make it feel out of place. The basement is guarded by a massive metal vault door, and the man's bed looks like this. The art style was updated in a way that strikes a perfect balance between realism and exaggerated proportions. Everything just sort of works. Alpha 3 onward feature a new art style, and a house that is simply unrealistic in its nature. The style is inconsistent and the house design is hardly navigable to the player, let alone the AI, but that's for later. Cut to the final release of the game, the Act 3 house follows a slightly altered design that's essentially the same thing, but somehow even more convoluted. This just doesn't work. Without a guide, you'd have no clue what you're doing, and half the time you're getting stuck in walls and items because of the messy collision. They clearly understood that people liked the insanely tall look of the early build house designs, but misconstrued that as people wanting something so insane that it just isn't practical whatsoever. This sucks and I fucking hate it. What's even worse than design though, is how the AI interacts with it. The main selling point in this game is its super advanced artificial intelligence. When the game was first revealed, they made an effort to show exactly how it worked and interacted with both its environment and the player. This just doesn't align with what we see in the final game. I don't want to be too negative, but it just doesn't fucking function. First off, the AI places so many cameras and bear traps around the entrance that it makes it near enough impossible to play. The cameras don't function like they should, with them rather instantly alerting the AI to your location as if he has some sort of Elon Musk brain chip type deal going on. This makes the first floor absolute hell to navigate, but at the second floor, you're instantly met with a gate that you can easily get around, but if you don't open, the AI simply cannot. The game can be beaten with the AI being only capable of navigating about one of about 10 floors, making it pointless. You're rendering your selling point fucking useless. What? There are a couple of routes around the house that the AI can use if the player opens them. The elevator lets the AI get to one of the highest floors, but the collision straight up stops him from getting out the elevator shaft. So he's incapable of navigating more than about a square meter of the floor. Give it up for Tiny Build, ladies and gentlemen. There's also the secret stairwell behind the apple painting. This allows the player access to a few puzzles that are important for beating the game, but overall it's completely inconsequential after being visited once. And even then, the AI often gets stuck in walls and objects due to how cramped it is. Let me summarise quickly. This game as a whole hardly functions, but somehow it just gets worse as it progresses. It's fundamentally flawed, and I wholeheartedly believe that Tiny Build are just incapable of executing this gameplay formula without fucking it up, because they just did the same thing again with the sequel, even after it was delayed by an entire fucking year. Act 3 is a perfect example of what happens to a mascot horror concept when the team behind it become blinded by a lust for success. The game has a great concept, but it falls flat, especially in the third act where it should be peaking. In conclusion, Tiny Build should appoint me as creative director for a remake of the first game. I'll probably make an in-depth video about my ideas in future lol. Anyway, ta-ta, follow my Twitter please.